Listen to me. I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not where you want to be right now, and it's not because the world is against you. It's not because you're unlucky. It's because you lack clarity. Clarity is power. Clarity is direction. Clarity is what separates the people who are barely surviving from the people who are living their dreams. You can have the hardest work ethic in the world. You can grind day and night. But if you don't know exactly where you're going, you'll never arrive. You'll run in circles, wasting time, energy, and passion on things that don't move you forward. Let me break it down for you. If you don't know what your destination looks like, your mind will give you excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. I'm too tired. Or maybe this isn't for me. Those are lies. They come because your vision is blurry. You haven't defined what success looks like for you. Clarity is asking yourself, what do I really want? Not what someone else wants for you, not what's trending or popular, but you. What is it that gets your heart racing, your blood pumping, your soul screaming to get up and move? That's your North Star. That's your clarity. Here's the truth. Until you get clear, nothing changes. You'll keep spinning, keep settling, keep wondering why everyone else is moving forward while you feel stuck. But when you get clarity, when you define your goal with precision, everything shifts. Suddenly you're making decisions that matter. Suddenly your energy isn't scattered, it's focused. Suddenly doors open, opportunities appear, and you find yourself moving faster than you ever imagined. So here's what you need to do right now. Stop running blind. Stop blaming the world. Stop complaining about your circumstances. Sit down. Write it out. Define your goal. Get so clear that your mind cannot misunderstand it. Get so clear that your body and soul align with it, because clarity is the difference between wishing and winning. Clarity is the difference between being stuck and being unstuck and being unstoppable. And remember this, if you don't have clarity, no amount of hustle will save you. But once you get it, once you see exactly where you're going, you will move mountains. You will break barriers. You will become the person you were destined to be. Stop wandering, get clear, get focused, and then go. Clarity is the foundation of success. And if you don't understand that, you are going to continue spinning your wheels, wondering why you're not progressing in your life. So many people wake up every day putting in effort, grinding, hustling, but they have no idea what they are actually working toward. They are busy, they are active, they are doing things, but without clarity, they are like a ship at sea without a rudder. The waves of life toss them around, and they blame circumstances, they blame the economy, they blame other people, they blame their upbringing. But the truth is that without clarity, you are powerless to create the results you desire. The people who achieve massive success, the people who leave legacies, the people who impact the world, they all have clarity. They all know exactly what they are building. They know what they are fighting for. They know what their goal is, and they know how to measure progress toward that goal. That is why clarity is the foundation. If you don't have clarity, every step you take is like walking in the dark. You don't know if you are moving closer to your goal or further away. You don't know if the sacrifices you're making are paying off. You don't know if the time you're investing is even worthwhile. Clarity eliminates doubt, confusion, and wasted effort. It allows you to see what is essential and what is not. When you have clarity, you know exactly what to focus on. You know where to put your energy. You know what matters and what doesn't. Without clarity, everything seems urgent. Everything seems important and everything demands your attention. You end up chasing distractions instead of progress. You end up exhausting yourself on things that don't move the needle. You end up frustrated, overwhelmed, and ready to give up because you feel like you're doing everything, but nothing is working. Clarity gives you the power to prioritize. It allows you to make decisions faster, better, and with confidence. When you are clear on your purpose, on your destination, on what you truly want to achieve, the choices become obvious. You know what to say yes to and what to say no to. You stop letting other people's opinions dictate your path because your vision is so vivid, so precise, that you don't need anyone else to validate it. Clarity gives you confidence. When you are unclear, fear thrives. Fear whispers, are you sure? Maybe you should wait. Maybe this isn't the right time. Maybe you are not ready. And because you are unclear, fear takes hold, paralyzes you, and you end up in a state of inaction. But clarity kills fear. When you see the path, When you know exactly what you are building and why fear has no place to live is exposed. It becomes powerless against a focused, determined mind. Clarity also drives momentum. The problem with most people is not that they lack talent or opportunity. The problem is that they are unsure of where they are going. They try a little bit here, a little bit there, but their efforts are scattered. Momentum requires direction, and direction requires clarity. Once you are clear, every action you take compounds. Every small step you take adds up to significant progress because each step is deliberate. Clarity is also the antidote to procrastination. When you don't know exactly what you want, it is easy to delay action. You put things off because you don't have a roadmap. You don't have a concrete picture of success. But when clarity is present, procrastination disappears. You know what to do, when to do it, and why you are doing it. Your purpose is clear, and your mission is urgent. And let me tell you something else. Clarity is not static. It is not a one-time event. Clarity is a daily discipline. You have to continually refine your vision, review your goals, and ask yourself, am I still on the right path? Am I still moving toward what I truly want? Because life changes, circumstances change, and if your clarity doesn't evolve, you risk drifting off course. Clarity also allows you to communicate effectively. When you are clear on your vision, you can inspire others. You can rally people around your cause. You can build teams, businesses, movements, and relationships that align with your goals. But if you are unclear, your message is weak, your influence is limited, and people cannot follow you because you don't even know where you are going. And here's the critical part. Clarity doesn't just come from thinking. It comes from writing things down. It comes from defining your goals in precise terms. It comes from asking yourself the hard questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? How will I know when I have it? What am I willing to sacrifice to get it? Until you answer these questions, clarity remains out of reach. People think clarity is some mystical gift, but it's not. Clarity is intentional. It is deliberate. It is a decision you make to stop wandering and start focusing. And the moment you embrace clarity, everything else falls into place. You start to make better decisions. You start to value your time differently. You start to align your habits, your mindset, and your actions with the person you are determined to become. So if you are not where you want to be today, understand this. It's not about working harder. It's about seeing clearer. It's not about trying more things. It's about knowing exactly what to do and doing it relentlessly. Clarity is the foundation, and without it, the strongest work ethic, the hardest grind, and the most talent in the world will not get you where you want to go. But with clarity, everything changes. The fog lifts, the path becomes visible, and your potential is unlocked in ways you never imagined. You will begin to see doors open, opportunities appear, and the universe responding to your vision because clarity aligns your mind, body, and soul with your purpose. You will move from chaos to control, from doubt to confidence, from confusion to focus. You will understand that success is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of being clear, being intentional, and taking relentless action toward the life you know you are meant to live. And when you embrace clarity, you are unstoppable. You cannot get to where you want to go if you don't know where that place is. Defining your destination is the first step to moving out of mediocrity and into purpose. Into success, into a life that feels alive and meaningful. Too many people wander aimlessly through their days, wondering why they are not achieving more, why they feel stuck, why no matter how hard they work, they never seem to arrive anywhere. The problem isn't effort, it isn't hustle, it isn't grind, it's direction. You have to define your destination. You have to know what it looks like in exact terms, not vague, wishy-washy ideas, not I want to be successful, or I want to be rich, or I want to be happy. Those are concepts, not destinations. A destination, something specific, tangible, and measurable. A destination is knowing the exact income you want to earn, the type of business you want to run, the impact you want to have on people's lives, the person you want to become. If you don't define it, you will never hit it. You'll drift. You'll take one step forward and two steps back, and you'll wonder why progress seems so slow. Define your destination because the mind needs a target. The human brain is wired to focus on what it can see, and if there's no clear target, it becomes distracted by everything that moves. everything that flashes, everything that promises temporary pleasure or relief. People who lack a defined destination spend their energy reacting to life instead of creating their life. They are reactive, not proactive. They let circumstances dictate their pace, their decisions, their emotion. They live by default, not by design. When you define your destination, everything changes. Suddenly, every decision you make has context. Suddenly, every choice, every action, every yes, and every no can be measured against your destination. Will this move me closer to where I want to be or further away? Will this investment of time, energy, or resources bring me nearer to my destination, or will it delay me? Defining your destination also gives you motivation. Let me tell you something. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you will wake up tired, drained, overwhelmed. Some days nothing seems to be working. Without a defined destination, you have nothing to anchor yourself to on those days. You'll give up, you'll quit, you'll settle. But when you know exactly where you are going, even the toughest days don't stop you. Your destination becomes your anchor, your compass, your reason for getting out of bed, your reason for pushing past fatigue, your reason for grinding when everyone else has gone home. And here's the thing, defining your destination is not just about setting goals on paper. It is about imagining your life in such detail that it becomes real to your mind, real to your heart, and real to your action. You have to see it, feel it, taste it, and believe it before it manifests in reality. The more specific you are, the more your subconscious mind begins to work on your behalf. It starts guiding you toward opportunities, ideas, connections, and solutions that align with the vision of your destination. People who are unclear miss opportunities because they don't recognize them. People who are unclear waste time on things that don't matter because they haven't defined what does matter. Your destination acts like a filter, separating what is essential from what is irrelevant. It saves you from distractions, from meaningless comparisons, from the traps of social media, peer pressure, and the endless noise of the world. You need to define your destination because it gives your life structure. Life without structure is chaos. Life without a destination is chaos. And chaos breeds frustration, doubt, and regret. When you define your destination, you bring order to the chaos. You give your days meaning. You create momentum. You understand what you need to learn, who you need to become, what habits you need to develop, and what sacrifices you need to make. Everything becomes intentional. You start to live with purpose. You start to operate with precision. And let me remind you, defining your destination does not mean that the path will be easy. You will face obstacles, setbacks, and naysaying. You will encounter moments where the road seems blocked, where doubt creeps in, where fear whispers in your ear. But your destination keeps you moving. Your destination keeps you focused. Your destination keeps you relentless. And this is why so many people never achieve their potential. They have no idea where they are going. They are walking around with vague dreams, thinking that effort alone will carry them there. But effort without a destination is wasted energy. Effort without clarity is exhaustion. Effort without a target is chaos. Defining your destination also allows you to measure progress. If you don't know where you are going, how will you know when you are getting closer? How will you celebrate victories no matter how small? How will you adjust your strategy when necessary? Your destination gives you benchmarks, milestones, and markers of progress. It gives you feedback, and feedback allows you to grow, improve, and evolve. And remember, defining your destination is not a one-time event. Life changes, your dreams grow, your circumstances evolve. You have to revisit your destination, refine it, and sharpen it. You have to check in with yourself regularly and ask, am I still here in the right direction? Is this destination still aligned with who I am and who I want to become? When you define your destination, you stop wandering. You stop being distracted by the opinions of others, the expectations of society, or the temptations of instant gratification. You start living intentionally. You start prioritizing your energy, your time, and your resources. You start making decisions that matter. And the beauty of defining your destination is that it transforms you. The act of knowing where you are going shapes your habits, your mindset, and your identity. You start becoming the person capable of reaching that destination. Your actions align with your goals. Your habits support your vision. Your mind adapts to the demands of your destination. And once you have defined your destination, the universe begins to conspire on your behalf. Opportunities appear. People align with your vision. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. But none of this happens until you define your destination, until you make it crystal clear, until you know exactly where you are going. The world cannot help you, and neither can you. The journey begins the moment you decide where you are going. The moment you define your destination, the fog lifts, the path becomes visible. And every step you take, no matter how small, becomes purposeful, deliberate, and powerful. Defining your destination is the difference between living a life of regret and living a life of impact, between mediocrity and greatness, between surviving and thriving. It is the spark that ignites your focus, the compass that guides your actions, and the magnet that draws opportunities, people, and resources toward you. And when you embrace this truth fully, when you commit to defining your destination with precision and passion, nothing can stop you from creating the life you have always imagined. Confusion is the enemy of progress, and it is one of the main reasons people never reach the level of success they are capable of. Too many people wake up every day with a fog in their minds, unsure about their purpose, unsure about their goals, unsure about what steps to take next, and as a result, they drift. They drift through life, moving from one task to another, jumping from one idea to another, never finding consistency, never building momentum, and never experiencing true results. Confusion kills clarity, and without clarity, you will never achieve greatness. You can work hard, you can grind, you can put in the hours, but if your mind is clouded, you are like a car stuck in neutral. You're running the engine, but you're not going anywhere. The first step to eliminating confusion is to recognize that it exists. Many people live in a state of denial, pretending they are focused when, in reality, they are overwhelmed by too many options, too many voices, too many influences telling them what they should be doing. You need to acknowledge that confusion is holding you back. Once you admit it, you take the first step toward freedom. Confusion thrives when your goals are vague, when your priorities are unclear, and when your decisions are reactive rather than proactive. People who are confused try to please everyone. They try to take every opportunity that comes their way, not realizing that every opportunity that doesn't align with their vision is actually a step backward. Confusion causes hesitation. It makes you second guess yourself. You delay action because you aren't sure what the right move is. You miss deadlines, you miss chances, you miss the moments that could change your life because your mind is clouded with uncertainty. Eliminating confusion requires focus. You have to get disciplined about what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You have to cut through the noise of life and identify what truly matters. This means asking yourself hard questions. What is essential to my growth? What is essential to my success? What is essential to achieving the life I want? Everything else is a distraction, and distractions are the breeding ground for confusion. The moment you identify what is essential, clarity begins to emerge. You start to see the path. You start to recognize the actions that produce results and the actions that waste time. Confusion also arises from lack of knowledge. People get overwhelmed because they don't know what steps to take or how to take them. They have ideas but no plan. They have dreams but no strategy. Eliminating confusion means educating yourself, learning from those who have walked the path before you, and creating a plan of action. You must be willing to do the work to understand your craft, your industry, your goal, and the skills required to succeed. Confusion disappears when you have a roadmap. You may not know every detail of the journey, but if you have a clear starting point, milestones along the way, and an end goal, your mind stops spinning in circles. You start moving deliberately, step by step, with confidence instead of randomly, chaotically, and ineffectively. Confusion also feeds fear. When you don't know what to do, fear fills the gaps. Fear whispers that you are not ready, that you are not capable, that you will fail. And before you know it, you are paralyzed. The antidote to fear is action, and action comes from clarity. Eliminating confusion requires boldness. You have to make decisions even if you aren't 100% certain. Waiting for perfect clarity is a trap. Clarity comes from action. You gain confidence by moving forward, learning from your experiences and adjusting your path as necessary. You must also eliminate the external voices that create confusion. Social media, negative people, unrealistic comparisons, and unsolicited advice all add noise to your mind. When too many voices speak over your own vision, your clarity gets lost. You must filter the input into your life. Surround yourself with mentors, coaches, and people who elevate you, who challenge you constructively, who reinforce your vision rather than distract you from it. Confusion also grows when you lack self-discipline. A scattered mind results from scattered mind. You cannot expect to be focused if your daily routines are inconsistent, if your time management is poor, if you allow procrastination to rule your life. Eliminate confusion by creating systems and habits that support your goals. Wake up with intention, work with purpose, rest with clarity. Every action aligned with your vision reduces confusion and increases momentum. Another source of confusion is emotional turmoil. People let their feelings dictate their decisions instead of their strategy. When you react emotionally rather than rationally, your decisions become inconsistent and your progress stalls. Eliminating confusion requires mastering your emotions. It requires detachment from short-term highs and lows. It requires focusing on long-term objectives and understanding that setbacks are temporary, that mistakes are lessons, and that persistence is essential. Clarity comes when you prioritize ruthlessly, when you have a defined destination and a clear plan. You must be willing to say no to everything that does not move you toward that destination. Saying no is not easy. It feels uncomfortable. But every time you say yes to something irrelevant, you create more confusion, more chaos, and more wasted energy. Your mind was designed to focus on one thing at a time. When you scatter your attention across too many directions, confusion grows. Eliminating confusion is also about asking the right questions. Instead of wondering, what should I do? You should ask, what is the most important thing I can do right now that moves me closer to my goal? That question immediately filters out distractions and creates laser-like focus. Confusion is a habit, but it is a habit you can break. You can train your mind to think clearly, to prioritize, to act decisively. It takes discipline, self-awareness, and daily practice. The more you commit to reducing confusion, the more your confidence grows, the more your momentum builds, and the faster you move toward your goals. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who work the hardest. They are the ones who act the clearest. They know what matters, they know what doesn't, and they eliminate the rest. They ruthlessly protect their time, their energy, and their focus. You can have all the talent in the world, all the resources in the world, and all the desire in the world, but if confusion rules your mind, you will never reach your potential. Eliminating confusion is about taking control of your mind, your habits, your environment, and your action. It's about choosing clarity over chaos every single day. And when you do, something incredible happens. Life becomes simpler. Decisions become easier. Energy multiplies progress accelerates, and success stops being a mystery and starts being a result of deliberate, focused effort. Confusion no longer has a place in your life because you have claimed your vision, defined your priorities, created your roadmap, mastered your emotions, and committed to clarity in every thought, word, and action. The moment you eliminate confusion, you gain power, you gain freedom, you gain the ability to move forward with purpose, to build momentum, and to create a life that is aligned with your dreams and potential. That energy is one of the most valuable resources you have, yet so many people waste it. They spread it thin across too many tasks, too many distractions, too many people, too many goals. And then they wonder why they are exhausted, frustrated, and not seeing the results they desire. Focus is the multiplier of energy. Without focus, your energy dissipates, it leaks, and it produces little to nothing. When you focus your energy, everything changes. Your actions become more powerful, your efforts more effective, your results more impactful. Focus is not just about working hard. It's about working smart, with intention, with purpose, with precision. Too many people think that effort alone will get them to where they want to go. Dope. They think that by grinding 24 hours a day, by trying to do everything, they will eventually stumble into success. But without focus, all that energy becomes noise. It's like throwing sparks into the wind and hoping a fire will ignite. Focus is the fire starter. It channels your energy in a single direction until you see results. Focus your energy on what matters most and stop wasting it on everything else. Stop chasing distractions. Stop trying to please everyone. Stop dabbling in things that don't align with your goals. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you are taking energy away from what does. Every time you give your attention to something irrelevant, you are slowing your progress. Focus is a discipline, and discipline requires sacrifice. It requires saying no to temporary pleasures, to social media, to unnecessary obligations, to toxic relationships, and to anything that pulls you away from your destination. People who succeed are ruthless with their energy. They guard it like it's the most precious commodity on earth because it is. Focus your energy and your mind becomes sharper. Your decisions become clearer. Your momentum grows and your results multiply. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that being busy equals being productive. Busy is not the same as effective. Busy is running in circles. Busy is moving without purpose. Focused energy is deliberate. Focused energy is intentional. Focused energy is strategic. You must identify the areas in your life where your energy creates the greatest return and pour everything you have into those areas. You cannot excel in everything at once. You cannot master every skill, satisfy every expectation, or chase every opportunity. You must focus. Focus is also about consistency. Energy alone is not enough if it is sporadic. You cannot have bursts of intensity followed by long periods of distraction and expect to achieve greatness. You must learn to harness your energy consistently, day in and day out. Focus on your most important goals. Focus your energy and suddenly your tasks that once seemed overwhelming become manageable. Your progress that once seemed slow becomes visible. Your confidence that once wavered becomes unshakable. And here's the truth. Focus is not just about what you do, it's about what you don't do. It's about eliminating the things that drain you, that scatter your thoughts, that dilute your power. It's about protecting your time, your attention, your resources, and your mindset. Focus your energy and you stop being reactive. You stop responding to every impulse, every notification, every demand on your time. You start being proactive. You start deciding where your energy goes. You start controlling your life instead of letting life control you. Focus is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. You must train your mind to concentrate, to resist distractions, to prioritize, and to act deliberately. The people who achieve the highest levels of success are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most focused. They know how to channel their energy, how to protect their attention, and how to apply themselves with relentless precision. Focus your energy and you create momentum. Momentum compounds over time. Small, focused actions taken consistently lead to extraordinary results. Dispersed energy, no matter how much, leads to frustration and stagnation. Focus your energy and you align your actions with your purpose. Every task becomes meaningful. Every step becomes deliberate. Every decision becomes easier because it is filtered through the lens of your priorities. Focus your energy and you eliminate wasted effort. You stop spinning your wheels. You stop putting in overtime for things that don't matter. You stop comparing yourself to others who are chasing different goals. Your energy becomes a weapon, a tool, a catalyst for your success. Focus your energy and you reduce stress. Confusion, overwhelm, and burnout often come from scattered energy. When your attention is divided, your mind is overloaded. When your mind is overloaded, your performance drops, your health suffers, and your motivation dwindles. Focus your energy and clarity emerges. Focus your energy and confidence grows. Focus your energy and you begin to see that what once seemed impossible is now achievable. Focus your energy and opportunities start to align with your vision. People begin to notice your consistency, your precision, your results. Doors open, networks expand, influence grows. Focus your energy and fear loses its grip. Fear thrives in chaos and scattered thoughts and uncertainty. Focus eliminates fear by giving you control, by giving you direction, by giving you momentum. Focus your energy and you start to see the power of alignment. When your mind, your heart, and your actions are aligned with your purpose, success becomes inevitable. Focus your energy and you become unstoppable. Focus your energy, and every sacrifice, every struggle, every setback becomes fuel for your progress. Focus your energy, and the life you've dreamed of is no longer a distant hope. It becomes your reality. Focus is not just an option. It is a necessity. Without it, energy is wasted. Without it, talent is meaningless. Without it, potential is unfulfilled. Focus your energy and you change your life. One deliberate, powerful, intentional action at a time. Focus is the difference between chaos and control, between wishing and achieving, between being ordinary and being extraordinary. Focus your energy and you take the first step to becoming the person you were born to be. Focus your energy and you prove to yourself, to the world, and to your destiny that you are serious, committed, and unstoppable. Success begins in the mind long before it manifests in reality. If you cannot see it, you cannot achieve it. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal, yet so many people overlook it, dismissing it as wishful thinking or daydreaming. They fail to understand that the mind is the command center of every action, every decision, every achievement. When you visualize your success, you are not just imagining a future, you are creating a blueprint for action. Visualization allows you to rehearse your victories before they happen. It allows you to train your mind to recognize the opportunities, the steps, and the strategies necessary to make your vision real. Too many people walk through life blindfolded. They know they want something, but they cannot picture it clearly. They have vague dreams. I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. But vague dreams produce vague results. Visualization requires precision. You must see your success in detail. You must imagine not only the outcome, but the journey, the challenges, the obstacles, the moments of doubt, and how you will overcome them. When you visualize your success, you train your brain to expect it, to plan for it, and to move toward it. It becomes part of your identity. Wait up. You start to act like the person who has already achieved the goal. You begin making decisions, taking actions, and prioritizing your life as if success is not a question, but an inevitability. Visualization also strengthens belief. One of the biggest barriers to achievement is doubt. People do not act because they do not believe in themselves. They do not believe the goal is possible. Visualization eliminates doubt by allowing you to experience success mentally. Your brain cannot easily distinguish between vivid mental rehearsal and reality. When you see yourself succeeding repeatedly in your mind, your confidence grows. You start to believe that the goal is attainable, and belief is the fuel for action. But visualization is not passive. It is not just sitting and imagining, hoping something magical will happen. True visualization is active. It requires engagement, repetition, and emotional investment. You must see, feel, hear, and experience your success in your mind as if it is real. Imagine the people cheering for you, the doors opening, the obstacles falling, the challenges being overcome. Feel the emotions of victory, the pride, the excitement, the relief, the satisfaction. When you do this consistently, your mind becomes conditioned to recognize the opportunities that align with your vision. You start to spot solutions, make decisions faster, and act with greater clarity. Visualization also helps you overcome fear and prepare for challenges. When you mentally rehearse difficult situations, you reduce uncertainty and increase your confidence. You imagine yourself navigating obstacles with skill and determination. You anticipate problems and see solutions before they arise. Visualization creates mental muscle memory. Just as an athlete trains by visualizing every move, every step, every play, you can train yourself to succeed by visualizing every stage of your journey. The more detailed and vivid your visualization, the more effective it is. Success is not an accident. It is a product of preparation, planning, and execution. Visualization prepares. It programs your mind for the possibility, and when opportunity arises, you are ready to act decisively. People who do not visualize success are often caught off guard by challenges. They react instead of acting. They panic instead of performing. Visualization gives you the advantage of foresight. It allows you to rehearse adversity, to see yourself overcoming setbacks, to remain composed when life tests you. Visualization also aligns your subconscious with your goal. The subconscious mind is a powerful force. It governs your habits, your decisions, your reactions, and your emotions. When your subconscious is aligned with your vision, your actions become more consistent, your persistence grows, and your ability to overcome obstacles strengthens. Visualization also fuels motivation. Seeing your success in your mind creates desire in your heart. It creates urgency in your actions. It reminds you daily why you are grinding, why you are sacrificing, why you refuse to quit. Without visualization, motivation wanes because the goal feels distant, intangible, or unreal. But when you see it, feel it, and experience it in your mind every day, motivation becomes unstoppable. Visualization also strengthens resilience. When you mentally prepare for success and for challenges, you are less likely to be derailed by setbacks. You have already experienced them in your mind and have seen yourself rise above them. You become unshakable because your mind has rehearsed victory repeatedly. Visualization bridges the gap between the present and the future. It allows you to step into the version of yourself that has already achieved the goal. And when you act from that version, your actions are more powerful, more confident, and more aligned with your purpose. People underestimate the power of the mind. They focus on external factors: money, opportunity, luck, connections. But the truth is, success is created first internally in the mind before it ever manifests externally. Visualization is the starting point. It is the engine that drops clarity, focus, discipline, and persistence. Visualization is also cumulative. The more consistently you practice it, the stronger its effects. Every day you rehearse your success, you reinforce your commitment, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your belief. Your brain begins to recognize possibilities that others cannot see. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your confidence grows. Your energy becomes aligned with purpose. Visualization is a habit that transforms your mental state, which transforms your actions, which transforms your results. But there is one key. You must be detailed. Vague visualization produces vague results. See the exact outcome you desire. See the steps you need to take. See the obstacles you will face and how you will overcome them. Imagine the people, the environment, the emotions, the sound, the sights, the feelings. Make it real in your mind. Live it mentally before you live it physically. Visualization also requires repetition. Champions do not visualize once and wait. They visualize daily, consistently, relentlessly. They review their goals, their victories, and their plans in their mind every day. It becomes part of their identity, part of their mindset, part of their DNA. When you visualize your success consistently, your subconscious becomes your ally. It begins to alert you to opportunity, guide you towards solutions, and keep you on track when distractions arise. It becomes impossible for you to act against your own success because your mind is already aligned with it. Visualization also inspires action. Seeing is believing, but seeing also motivates doing. When you see yourself succeeding, you are compelled to take the necessary steps to work harder, to sacrifice more, to persevere longer than anyone else. Visualization is not a replacement for action. It is the precursor to action. It prepares you mentally, emotionally, and strategically so that when you move with purpose, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. When you visualize your success consistently, every decision, every habit, every action becomes aligned with that vision. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You stop being distracted by negativity, doubt, or irrelevant noise. You focus and your energy becomes a weapon toward your goals. Visualization is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is a foundation of belief, the spark of motivation, the guide for action, and the shield against fear and doubt. When you see it, feel it, and believe it in your mind, your life inevitably follows. Visualization transforms the intangible into the tangible. It turns hopes into plans, ideas into actions, and reality. When you embrace visualization as a daily practice, you align your mind, body, and spirit with your vision. And nothing, not fear, not obstacles, not setbacks can stop you from achieving the success you have imagined. Setting specific goals is the difference between wandering aimlessly through life and moving with purpose, precision, and unstoppable momentum. Too many people fail to achieve the level of success they are capable of because they operate with vague intention. They say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to make more money, or I want to be happy, but those are not goals. They are wishes. Wishes do not produce results. Ambiguous statements produce ambiguous outcomes. Specific goals are precise, measurable, and actionable. When you set specific goals, you give yourself a target to aim for. You give yourself a destination to navigate toward. You create a roadmap that allows you to measure progress, adjust strategies, and stay motivated. Without specificity, you are like a ship drifting in the ocean without a compass. The waves of life push you wherever they want, and you wonder why you never arrive anywhere meaningful. Specific goals act as your compass. They provide direction and focus. They allow you to break down overwhelming dreams into concrete, actionable steps. You cannot simply say, I want to be rich and expect the universe to hand you wealth. You must define what wealth means to you. Is it a certain income? Is it owning a home? Is it financial freedom to help others? When you define the goal clearly, your mind begins to work for you. Your actions align with your purpose, and opportunities that match your vision become visible. Specific goals also eliminate confusion. When your goal is broad, your mind struggles to prioritize actions. You waste energy on things that do not matter. You spread yourself thin. You get distracted. But when your goal is specific, decisions become easier. Every yes, every no can be filtered through the lens of your goal. Will this action move me closer to my goal? If yes, you take it with intensity. If no, you say no without hesitation. Specific goals also fuel motivation. General ideas do not inspire action. They are too vague to spark passion. But when you can picture a goal clearly, when you can articulate exactly what you want, motivation rises naturally. Naturally, you begin to feel the urgency of the work required. You feel the excitement of the milestones. You feel the pride of achievement even before it is realized. Specific goals create accountability. When you define what success looks like in measurable terms, you can track progress. You can see what works, what doesn't, and where you need to adjust. This feedback is critical. Without it, you are flying blind, hoping your effort produces results, but never really knowing if you are on the right path. Specific goals also transform your mindset. When you operate with clear, measurable objectives, your mind shifts from a reactive state to a proactive state. You stop letting life happen to you, start creating life for yourself. You begin to anticipate challenges, plan for setbacks, and strategize every move. Specific goals inspire discipline. When your target is clear, your habits can be aligned with your objectives. You understand every action counts, every hour matters, every decision carries weight. Discipline becomes easier because it is no longer arbitrary, it's purposeful. Your energy is no longer wasted on trivialities or distraction. It is channeled toward meaningful progress. Setting specific goals also prepares you for adversity. Life will test you. Obstacles will arise. People will doubt you. Circumstances will push back. But when your goal is specific, when it is clear in your mind and your heart, you can weather the storms. You know exactly what you are fighting for, and that knowledge fuels resilience. Specific goals help you prioritize. You can separate the urgent from the important. You can focus on high-impact actions and ignore low-value distractions. This ability to focus is the secret weapon of high achievers. They do not do everything. They do the right things consistently until they reach the finish line. Specific goals also clarify your vision. They provide a framework for imagining success, visualizing outcomes, and planning strategically. Without specificity, visualization is vague and ineffective. With specificity, visualization becomes a powerful tool that programs your mind for victory, trains your subconscious to recognize opportunities, and reinforces your commitment to the journey. Specific goals push you to define the how. Vague aspirations leave you guessing. Specific goals force you to identify the steps, the actions, the skills, and the sacrifices necessary to succeed. They require you to map out a plan, anticipate challenges, and prepare for obstacles. Specific goals also create measurable milestones. Achievement is not a single event. It is a series of steps, a progression of win. When you define specific goals, you can celebrate progress along the way. Each milestone builds momentum, confidence, and belief in your ultimate success. Specific goals prevent settling for mediocrity. They set a high standard, a clear target, and a measurable expectation. They demand focus, effort, and excellence. When your goal is vague, it is easy to settle for less. When your goal is specific, there is no room for compromise. Specific goals also influence your environment. People, resources, and opportunities tend to align with clear, focused intent. When you communicate your goals with specificity, you attract mentors, partners, and networks that can help you achieve them. Ambiguity attracts chaos. Specificity attracts support. Specific goals also cultivate self-awareness. In defining what you truly want, you learn about your values, your priorities, your passions, and your limits. You discover what drives you, what excites you, and what inspires you to push harder. Specific goals make every action count. They force you to examine your choices, your habits, and your time. You cannot waste energy or resources without recognizing the impact on your progress. Specific goals also prepare you for accountability. When your goal is measurable, it is easier to track results, evaluate performance, and adjust strategies. You can hold yourself responsible and allow others to hold you responsible as well. Specific goals accelerate growth. When your objectives are clear, you push yourself beyond comfort zones. You develop skills, overcome challenges, and gain experiences aligned with the outcome you desire. Specific goals make success inevitable because they leave no room for guesswork, delay, or randomness. Every step becomes intentional, every effort aligned, and every decision focused. Specific goals transform dreams into reality, ideas into action, and potential into achievement. The most successful people in history all operated with specific goals. They knew exactly what they wanted, how to get it, and how to measure progress. Talent alone is insufficient. Motivation alone is insufficient. Without specificity, effort is wasted, and potential remains unfulfilled. Specific goals are not optional. They are essential. They are the roadmap, the compass, and the blueprint for success. They focus your energy, sharpen your mind, and propel your action. When you set specific goals, you stop wandering. You stop guessing. You stop reacting aimlessly. You take control of your life, your future, and your destiny. When you define what you want in clear, precise terms, everything changes. Your mind aligns, your actions intensify, your momentum builds, and success moves from a possibility to an inevitability. Learning is the fuel that drives growth, innovation, and achievement. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, you begin to fall behind. Life does not stand still, and neither does success. The world is constantly evolving. Opportunities shift, knowledge expands, and skills become outdated. If you want to stay relevant, competitive, and unstoppable, you must commit to a lifetime of learning. Learning is not limited to formal education, textbooks, or classrooms. It is not something that ends with a diploma or a degree. Learning is everywhere, is an experience in failure, mentorship, in observation, in reading, in questioning, in reflecting, and in applying what you discover. The most successful people are voracious learners. They never assume they know enough. They understand that the more they learn, the more capable they become, the more opportunities they can seize, and the greater impact they can make. Never stop learning because knowledge compounds. Every skill you acquire, every insight you gain, every lesson you apply builds upon previous learning, creating exponential growth over time. What you learn today equips you to solve problems, make decisions, and create solutions that you could not before. Continuous learning fosters adaptability. Life will not go according to plan. Markets change, industries evolve, technologies advance, and circumstances shift unexpectedly. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn ensures that you can navigate these changes effectively, pivot when necessary, and remain ahead of the curve. Never stop learning because curiosity drives progress. The desire to understand, explore, discover fuels innovation. Curiosity pushes you to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and seek deeper understanding. It prevents complacency and encourages relentless improvement. Learning builds confidence. The more knowledge and skills you acquire, the more capable you feel. Confidence is not built solely on talent. It is built on competence. The more you know, the more prepared you are to act decisively, take risks, and step into challenges that others shy away from. Learning strengthens resilience. When you encounter setbacks, failure, or criticism, knowledge gives you perspective. You understand why things went wrong, what adjustments are needed, and how to improve. Every lesson learned from adversity equips you to respond better the next time. Never stop learning because the world rewards those who adapt and evolve. Stagnation leads to irrelevance. Industries shift, competitors advance, and opportunities favor the prepared. Lifelong learners maintain their edge by continually acquiring the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in changing environments. Learning expands your perspective. Exposure to new ideas, cultures, philosophies, and disciplines broadens your understanding of the world. It challenges your assumptions, breaks down biases, and fosters creativity. The broader your perspective, the more innovative and strategic your solutions become. Learning drives self-awareness. The more you understand about yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals, the better equipped you are to make decisions aligned with your purpose. Self-awareness gained through learning allows you to leverage your strengths effectively and address areas of growth proactively. Never stop learning because it keeps your mind sharp. Mental stimulation through learning enhances cognitive function, problem-solving ability, and critical thinking. A sharp mind is a powerful tool in navigating complexity, overcoming challenges, and seizing opportunities. Learning fosters humility. The more you realize how much there is to know, the more you understand that growth is an ongoing process. Humility keeps you teachable, open to feedback, and receptive to new ideas, all of which are essential for continuous improvement. Learning connects you to opportunity. Knowledge attracts opportunity, builds credibility, and positions you as someone capable of contributing value. The more you learn, the more doors open, the more people seek your insights, and the more influence you gain. Never stop learning because innovation requires it. To create new solutions, products, or ideas, you must first acquire the knowledge, study the patterns, and understand the mechanics of what already exists. Learning is the foundation of creativity and problem solving. Learning develops discipline and work ethic. Committing to continuous improvement requires dedication, focus, and intentionality. The habit of learning reinforces a mindset of persistence, resilience, and self-mastery that translates to all areas of life. Never stop learning because it fuels progress in both personal and professional life. Relationships, leadership, emotional intelligence, communication, and technical skills all require ongoing development. Continuous learning ensures that you remain effective, adaptable, and influential in every sphere of life. Learning enhances decision-making. The more information, experiences, and perspectives you have, the better equipped you are to make informed choices. Decisions rooted in knowledge are more likely to produce positive outcomes and avoid unnecessary mistakes. Never stop learning because it builds credibility and influence. People respect those who are knowledgeable, well-informed, and able to provide insights that add value. Your expertise becomes a resource that others seek, creating opportunities for collaboration, mentorship, and leadership. Learning fosters innovation by encouraging experimentation. Knowledge allows you to combine ideas in new ways, challenge assumptions, and take calculated risks that can lead to breakthroughs. The willingness to learn keeps you ahead of complacency and mediocrity. Lifelong learning prevents stagnation by continuously challenging your thinking, introducing new skills, and encouraging adaptation. It ensures that you are always improving, always evolving, and always prepared for the next challenge. Never stop learning because its strength is resilience and uncertainty. Knowledge equips you to navigate ambiguity, adapt to unforeseen circumstances, and recover quickly from setbacks. Every lesson learned enhances your ability to respond effectively under pressure. Learning fuels ambition. Exposure to new ideas, achievements, and knowledge inspires you to set higher goals, expand your vision, and pursue opportunities that you may not have considered before. It keeps your drive alive and your potential growing. Never stop learning because it ensures relevance in a rapidly changing world. Industries, technologies, and societal expectations evolve constantly. Lifelong learners maintain a competitive edge by staying informed, acquiring new skills, and adapting to change. Learning fosters critical thinking. By analyzing, questioning, and evaluating information, you develop the ability to make sound judgments, identify patterns, and solve complex problems. Critical thinking is essential for navigating life strategically and achieving sustainable success. Never stop learning because his strength is resilience against failure. Each lesson learned, each skill acquired, each perspective gained prepares you to handle setbacks more effectively and bounce back stronger. Learning cultivates creativity. Exposure to diverse ideas, disciplines, and experiences provides the raw material for innovation, problem solving, and original thought. The more you know, the more you can create. Learning strengthens leadership. Leaders who continue to grow, educate themselves, and adapt inspire trust, respect, and loyalty. Knowledge empowers leaders to make informed decisions, guide teams effectively, and anticipate challenges strategically. Never stop learning because it shapes character. Commitment to growth, curiosity, humility, and resilience, all cultivated through continuous learning, form the foundation of personal integrity and strength. Lifelong learning is a mindset. It is the understanding that no matter how much you achieve, there is always more to know, more to master, and more ways to grow. It is the refusal to settle, the hunger for improvement, and the recognition that your potential is limitless. Never stop learning because it is the engine of transformation. Knowledge changes the way you think, the way you act, and the way you engage with the world. It enables you to reach higher, work smarter, and create greater impact than you ever thought possible. Continuous learning is not optional, it is essential. Your ability to adapt, innovate, lead, and achieve depends on your commitment to acquiring knowledge, developing skills, and applying insights consistently throughout your life. Those who embrace lifelong learning are unstoppable because they never plateau, never settle, and never stop evolving. Success begins in the mind. Before it manifests in your life, before it is seen, heard, or experienced, it is first imagined. The power of visualization is undeniable. It is the mental rehearsal of your goals, the act of seeing yourself achieving, performing, and succeeding before it physically happens. Visualization is not daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is a deliberate, focused, and intentional exercise that aligns your mind, body, and spirit with the reality you are determined to create. When you visualize success, you are programming your brain to recognize opportunities, overcome obstacles, and act decisively. Your mind begins to accept success inevitable, and this belief drives action. Too many people fail because they cannot see themselves achieving greatness. They are trapped in doubt, fear, and negative self-talk. They focus on obstacles, limitations, and setbacks instead of envisioning the possibilities. Visualization is the antidote to this mindset. It shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what must happen. It empowers you to take the necessary actions, remain persistent, and maintain confidence even when circumstances are difficult. Visualizing success requires clarity. You must know exactly what you want. The mind cannot pursue vague goals effectively. Specificity is critical. Picture the environment you desire, the achievements you seek, the lifestyle you aim to live, and the impact you want to make. The clearer the image, the stronger the effect on your motivation, focus, and determination. Visualization also engages emotion. Seeing success is powerful, but feeling it makes it real. Imagine the pride, the joy, the fulfillment, and the sense of accomplishment that will come with achieving your goal. Emotion intensifies belief, fuels action, and strengthens resilience in the face of challenges. Visualization enhances focus. The brain operates on patterns and repetition. By repeatedly imagining success, you create neural pathways that make it easier to recognize opportunities, make decisions, and act consistently in alignment with your goals. Your actions begin to mirror your vision, producing results that match your mental rehearsal. Visualization builds confidence. Doubt diminishes when you can see yourself succeeding. The mind becomes conditioned to believe that achievement is possible, and belief is the foundation of action. Every time you visualize winning, you reinforce your ability to execute, persevere, and triumph over obstacles. Visualization requires repetition. It is not a one-time exercise. The more you practice, the more your mind internalizes the image of success. Daily visualization strengthens focus, maintains motivation, and ensures that your energy is consistently directed toward your goals. Visualization also prepares you for challenge. By imagining obstacles and seeing yourself overcoming them, you train your mind to respond with strategy, resilience, and determination. You reduce fear and hesitation because your brain has already rehearsed the path to victory. Visualization reinforces commitment. When you see yourself achieving your goals, your dedication deepens. The mental image becomes a standard you refuse to compromise. You become unwilling to settle for anything less than the success you have visualized. Visualization aligns actions with goals. When you consistently see yourself succeeding, your behaviors, decisions, and priorities naturally adjust to support that outcome. You act intentionally, avoid distractions, and focus your energy on high-value tasks that move you closer to your vision. Visualization enhances creativity and problem solving. By imagining success, you can explore different strategies, approaches, and solutions in your mind before taking action. This mental rehearsal allows you to innovate, anticipate challenges, and make smarter decisions. Visualization also strengthens resilience. When setbacks occur, the mental image of success provides a reference point. It reminds you of your ultimate goal, fuels determination, and ensures that temporary failure do not derail your momentum. Visualization is a tool for mental toughness. It trains you to maintain focus under pressure, to remain confident when others doubt, and to act decisively when circumstances are challenging. Your mind becomes your ally, reinforcing courage and persistence every step. Visualization demands belief. It is not enough to see success. You must believe in the possibility and in your ability to achieve it. Doubt undermines the process, while faith, confidence, and conviction empower it. Visualization creates accountability. By seeing the life you desire, you develop a standard that you refuse to compromise. Every action is measured against the image of success. And this internal benchmark drives discipline, consistency, and relentless effort. Visualization also enhances motivation. On days when energy is low, challenges are high, or setbacks occur, the mental picture of success reignites your drive, reminding you of why you are pushing forward and what is possible if you persist. Visualization expands your comfort zone. By imagining scenarios that feel beyond your current ability, you train your mind to adapt, take risks, and perform at higher levels than previously thought possible. Visualization improves performance. Athletes, performers, and leaders have long used mental rehearsal to refine skills, anticipate challenges, and enhance execution. Seeing yourself succeed prepares your mind and body to perform at their peak. Visualization cultivates persistence. The path to success is rarely smooth. Mental images of your goals remind you why the struggle is worth it, why perseverance is necessary, and why giving up is not an option. Visualization strengthens decision-making. When you have a clear picture of success, it becomes easier to evaluate choices, prioritize actions, and avoid distractions that do not serve your vision. Visualization aligns identity with goals. The more vividly you imagine yourself succeeding, the more you begin to see yourself as the person capable of achieving greatness. Your mindset, habits, and behaviors gradually transform to match the identity of someone who consistently wins. Visualization also teaches patience. While the mental image is immediate, the physical manifestation takes time. Visualization helps you maintain focus and dedication during your journey, understanding that persistence over time will convert the vision into reality. Visualization is a rehearsal for life. It is a practice that strengthens confidence, builds resilience, and programs the mind to succeed before the external results appear. Visualization inspires action. Seeing yourself achieve fuels urgency, motivates effort, and compels consistent, deliberate steps toward your goals. Visualization connects the mind and body. When you vividly imagine success, your body responds. Heart rate, posture, and energy align with the mindset of achievement, preparing you physically and mentally to perform at a higher level. Visualization amplifies belief. The more real you make your mental rehearsal, the stronger your conviction, and the more unstoppable you become in the pursuit of your goals. Visualization fosters gratitude. Seeing success in advance allows you to appreciate the journey, the effort, and the growth required to reach your destination. It creates a mindset that values progress as much as results. Visualization also encourages adaptability. By imagining different scenarios, outcomes, and challenges, you train your mind to respond flexibly, strategically, and effectively in real-life situations. Visualization is the ultimate mental tool for achievement. It bridges imagination and reality, thought and action, vision and execution. Those who visualize success daily are the ones who see it manifest in their lives. The question is not whether you can visualize. The question is whether you will commit to it. Will you see your success every day, feel it, believe it, and allow it to drive your actions relentlessly? Visualization is the difference between hoping for a life you want to intentionally creating. It is the mindset, the strategy, and the fuel that propels you toward your goals, making the impossible inevitable and turning dreams into reality. It is not the end. It is not a signal to quit. It is not a verdict on your worth, your ability, or your potential. Failure is a teacher. Failure is a tool. Failure is the raw material from which greatness is built. The problem is that too many people fear failure. They see it as something to avoid, something that defines them. But failure is inevitable if you are striving for something significant. The truth is, the bigger your goals, the higher your ambitions, the more likely you are to encounter failure along the way. And that is not only normal, it's necessary. Failure teaches lessons that success cannot. Every setback, every mistake, every wrong turn contains insight, feedback, and knowledge that can only be gained through experience. Those who refuse to fail also refuse to learn. They remain stagnant, stuck in comfort and limited by fear. Embracing failure means changing your perspective. It means seeing mistakes as stepping stones rather than obstacles, as opportunities rather than roadblocks. When you fail, you are not defeated. You are informed. You are learning what works, what doesn't, and what needs to change. Failure builds resilience. The more you experience it and recover, the stronger, tougher, and more determined you become. Success is not a straight line. It is a series of experiments, adjustments, and recoveries. Every failure prepares you for the next challenge, the next opportunity, and the next level of achievement. Embracing failure requires courage. It means putting yourself out there, taking risks, and moving forward despite uncertainty. Those who never fail are often those who never try. Action always carries the possibility of failure, but it is through action that results are achieved. Failure also fuels innovation. When you fail, you are forced to think differently, adjust your approach, and seek creative solutions. Many breakthroughs, inventions, and successes were born out of repeated failure and experimentation. Embracing failure requires humility. It forces you to acknowledge what you don't know, to confront your weaknesses, and to seek improvement. Pride and fear of failure, enemies of growth. When you embrace failure, you become teachable, open-minded, and adaptable. Failure teaches accountability. When things go wrong, you are confronted with the consequences of your actions or inactions. This reality develops responsibility, self-discipline, and maturity. Qualities essential for long-term success. Embracing failure strengthens character. Those who rise after setbacks develop perseverance, grit, and mental toughness. They cultivate the mindset of a winner who refuses to quit, who adapts, and who relentlessly pursue their goals regardless of obstacles. Failure removes illusions. It reveals what works, what doesn't, and where improvements are needed. Keeps you grounded, focused, and aware of the effort required to achieve meaningful success. Embracing failure creates perspective. It teaches gratitude for progress, humility in achievement, and patience in the journey. You learn to value effort, persistence, and learning over immediate results. Failure builds empathy. Those who have struggled, fallen, and recovered can relate to others facing challenges. This perspective fosters leadership, mentorship, and the ability to inspire and guide others. Embracing failure encourages risk-taking. If you fear failure, you limit yourself. You avoid challenges, stick to comfort, and settle for mediocrity. When you embrace failure, you free yourself to act boldly, innovate, and pursue ambitious goals. Failure motivates improvement. Every setback is a signal to adjust, refine, and work harder. It is a feedback loop that, when used correctly, propels you closer to your objectives. Embracing failure requires persistence. You must be willing to fall repeatedly, learn, and rise again with renewed focus and determination. The most successful people are not those who never fail. They are those who refuse to quit despite failure. Failure teaches timing. Sometimes you fail not because of lack of effort, but because the conditions are not yet right. Learning from these experiences helps you recognize when to persist, when to pivot, and when to wait for better opportunities. Embracing failure develops patience. Success often takes longer than expected. Failure reminds you that growth is a process, that mastery requires time, and that consistent effort matters more than immediate results. Failure tests mindset. It challenges your belief in yourself, your goals, and your abilities. Embracing failure strengthens mental toughness, teaching you to stay focused, confident, and resilient, even when circumstances are difficult. Failure is a stepping stone. Each mistake, each misstep, each disappointment is an essential part of the journey. Those who embrace failure understand that every setback brings them closer to their ultimate goal. Embracing failure requires reflection. You must analyze, evaluate, and extract lessons from each experience. Passive failure, without learning or adaptation, is wasted opportunity. Active failure, used as a teacher, becomes a catalyst for growth. Failure builds innovation. It forces creativity, problem solving, and adaptation. Those who are unwilling to fail often replicate old methods, miss opportunities, and stagnate. Those who embrace failure develop new approaches, uncover possibilities, and push boundaries. Embracing failure fosters gratitude. When you recover, succeed, and achieve, you appreciate the journey, the lessons, and the effort. Success feels deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling when it is earned through struggle and persistence. Failure sharpens strategy. Each experience teaches you to plan better, act smarter, and anticipate challenges. The more you learn from failure, the more strategic and effective your approach becomes. Embracing failure requires belief. You must trust that each setback is temporary, that every mistake is a lesson, and that persistence will ultimately lead to success. Without belief, failure becomes defeat. Failure teaches resilience not only in goals, but in life itself. It prepares you for challenges, adversity, and uncertainty beyond your immediate ambition. Embracing failure cultivates courage, creativity, accountability, humility, and perspective. It transforms setbacks into stepping stones and obstacles into opportunities. Failure is a necessary component of growth. Those who achieve greatness are not those who avoid failure. They are those who confront it, learn from it, and continue moving forward with relentless determination. When you embrace failure, you transform fear into fuel, mistakes into lessons, and obstacles into opportunities. It is through failure that true strength, skill, and character are developed. Success is built upon failure, refined through learning, and achieved through persistence. Those who understand this principle rise faster, recover stronger, and achieve more than those who fear failure. Embracing failure is not optional. It is essential for anyone who wants to reach their highest potential and create extraordinary results in life. Your life is the result of your choices, your decisions, and your actions. Every success, every failure, every moment of progress or setback can be traced back to the decisions you made or the decisions you avoided making. Too many people spend their lives blaming others, circumstances, luck, the system, or the people around them for where they are. They refuse to accept that their life is theirs to shape, theirs to direct, and theirs to take ownership of. Taking responsibility means refusing to play the victim. It means refusing to allow excuses, complaints, or blame to dictate your reality. It means understanding that no one else is going to create your success for you, and that waiting for someone else to fix your life will only keep you stagnant. Responsibility begins with awareness. You must see clearly where you are, what you have, what you lack, and the choices that brought you here. This requires honesty, courage, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Once you accept responsibility, you gain power. The moment you stop blaming and start acting, you take control of your future. You realize that your circumstances do not define you. Your actions do. Taking responsibility requires action. It is not enough to simply acknowledge your role in your life. You must follow through with decisions, discipline, and effort that align with your goals. Ownership is about doing what needs to be done, even when it is difficult, uncomfortable, or inconvenient. Responsibility also builds resilience. When you own your mistakes, failures, and shortcomings, you learn from them. You adapt, adjust, and improve. Every setback becomes a lesson rather than a defeat. You stop being at the mercy of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your destiny. Taking responsibility demands discipline. You must manage your time, energy, and resources with intention. You cannot allow distractions, laziness, or procrastination to dictate your outcomes. Every choice, no matter how small, contributes to the life you are building. Responsibility strengthens character. People who own their lives develop integrity, honesty, and accountability. They do not make excuses when challenges arise. They confront obstacles head on, take ownership of their decisions, and act with consistency and purpose. Taking responsibility fosters confidence. When you know that your actions directly influence your outcomes, you feel empowered. You stop waiting for others to save you or validate your efforts, and you step boldly into your potential. Responsibility is about results, not intention. Wishing, hoping, or talking about what you want is meaningless without action. Taking responsibility means converting ideas into execution, plans into results, and potential into achievement. Nay, taking responsibility also requires self-discipline in managing emotions. Life will challenge you, disappoint you, and test your patience. Owning your reactions, controlling your mindset, and choosing your attitude allows you to navigate these challenges with clarity and focus. Responsibility empowers growth. When you stop blaming others, you open the door to learning. Every failure becomes an opportunity to adapt, improve, and become stronger. Every obstacle teaches you resilience, creativity, and perseverance. Taking responsibility eliminates victimhood. It refuses to let circumstance, society, or other people define your life. Instead, it asserts that you are the creator, the decision maker, and the driver of your destiny. Responsibility strengthens relationships. When you own your actions and decisions, others respect you. They see you as reliable, accountable, and trustworthy. Your influence and credibility grow because people know you stand by your words and your commitments. Taking responsibility requires courage. It's easier to point fingers, make excuses, or complain. It is harder to admit mistakes, face reality, and act decisively. Courage is the foundation of ownership, and without it, growth is impossible. Responsibility demands focus. You must identify your goals, prioritize your actions, and eliminate distractions that pull you away from what truly matters. Every choice should align with the life you intend to create. Taking responsibility builds freedom. When you own your life, you are no longer controlled by fear, circumstance, or other people's decision. You act intentionally, make informed choices, and create opportunities rather than waiting for them. Responsibility reinforces perseverance. When setbacks occur, you do not blame others or quit. You assess, adjust, and continue moving forward. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Taking responsibility encourages leadership. Leaders take ownership of their vision, their team, and their results. They do not pass blame or defer accountability. They model commitment, integrity, and action for others to follow. Responsibility also strengthens problem-solving skills. When you own your outcomes, you develop the ability to identify issues, create solutions, and execute plans effectively. You no longer rely on luck or external factors to achieve results. Taking responsibility requires consistency. Ownership is a daily practice. Every habit, choice, and action either contributes to your success or detracts from it. The discipline to act consistently, make decisions aligned with your goals, and follow through is what separates achievers from dreamers. Responsibility cultivates resilience under pressure. Life will challenge you, test your limits, and present obstacles. When you accept full ownership, you can respond with strategy, focus, and determination rather than panic, blame, or excuses. Taking responsibility creates momentum. Every decision, action, and effort compounds over time. The more consistently you own your life, the more control, clarity, and progress you gain. Responsibility is empowering because it places the control of your destiny squarely in your hands. No one else can define your success, limit your potential, or dictate your results. You are fully accountable for where you go, what you achieve, and how you respond to life's challenges. Taking responsibility eliminates regret. When you own your choices, you understand that every outcome is a product of your decision. You stop living in a what-if scenario or blaming others for missed opportunity. Instead, you focus on what you can do now to move forward. Responsibility teaches humility. It requires acknowledging mistakes, confronting weaknesses, and learning from feedback. Through this humility, you grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Taking responsibility inspires others. When people see someone owning their life, taking decisive action, and refusing to make excuses, they are motivated to do the same. Ownership is contagious and elevates those around you. Responsibility also demands vision. You must see where you want to go, understand the path to get there, and recognize that only through your actions can that vision be realized. Taking responsibility is the ultimate form of empowerment. Transforms fear into action, excuses into solutions, and potential into achievement. It is the mindset that separates those who succeed from those who drift. Ownership is not optional. It is essential for anyone serious about reaching their highest potential. Those who embrace responsibility take control of their lives, shape their futures, and refuse to let circumstances dictate their destiny. Your life is yours to own, and it starts with the decision to take responsibility today. Too many people wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel ready, until conditions are ideal, until everything aligns perfectly. The problem is that moment rarely comes. Life rarely hands you the ideal circumstances, the flawless opportunity, or the perfect timing. Waiting for readiness is the greatest form of procrastination. Action is what creates readiness. The truth is, you grow into your goals not before you take the first step. You develop confidence by doing, skill by acting, and momentum by starting. Waiting for permission, waiting for clarity, or waiting for perfect preparation is a trap. It keeps you in the shadows of your potential, watching others move, while you linger in fear. All acting before you're ready requires courage. It means stepping into uncertainty, embracing discomfort, and taking bold steps without guarantee of success. Those who act before they're ready understand that growth happens in motion, not in hesitation. Action fuels learning. You cannot master anything by merely thinking, planning, or preparing endlessly. You learn by doing, by experimenting, by failing, and by adjusting. Every step, no matter how small or imperfect, brings lessons that no amount of theory can teach. Acting before you're ready also builds confidence. The first step is always the hardest, but every subsequent step becomes easier because experience teaches capability. You begin to trust yourself, your instincts, and your ability to adapt. Waiting for readiness is a form of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. It paralyzes millions of people who have talent, vision, and potential. Acting before you're ready is the antidote. It transforms fear into momentum, uncertainty into experience. Action creates opportunity. Those who wait for readiness often miss openings, connections, and breakthroughs because they hesitate too long. Momentum is not built in preparation. It is built in motion. Acting before you are ready also strengthens resilience. The challenges you face when stepping out of your comfort zone teach you perseverance, problem solving, and adaptability. Every obstacle encountered becomes a training ground for growth. Acting before you're ready requires faith in yourself and your vision. You must trust that you can handle what comes, learn what is needed, and adapt as you progress. The mindset of I'll start when I'm ready guarantees stagnation. The mindset of I'll start now and figure it out guarantees growth. Action before readiness teaches creativity. When you are forced to navigate uncertainty, you discover solutions, approaches, and strategy that you would never have imagined if everything were easy or perfectly planned. Acting before you're ready accelerates progress. Waiting delays results, growth, and achievement. The sooner you act, the sooner you learn, adapt, and advance. Action creates clarity. Often, we do not fully understand what we need, what works, or what's required until we take the first step. Motion illuminates the path, reveals obstacles, and provides insights that planning alone cannot. Acting before you're ready builds character, courage, persistence, and determination are cultivated in the moment of action, especially when conditions are imperfect and stakes are high. Waiting breeds excuses. Acting before you're ready breeds results. Every person who achieved greatness did not wait for ideal conditions. They acted, adapted, and persisted despite fear, uncertainty, and imperfection. Action attracts resources. When you start moving, opportunities, connections, and support often appear that were invisible when you were idle. The world responds to those who act, not those who wait. Acting before you're ready requires decisiveness. It is the ability to make a choice, commit, and follow through, even when every reason to delay presents itself. Action forces adaptation. You will make mistakes, face setbacks, and confront challenges. Each one is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and strengthen your strategy. Acting before you're ready strengthens confidence exponentially. Each step you take, each challenge you overcome, each lesson you learn proves to yourself that you are capable. Waiting for readiness is a lie you tell yourself to avoid discomfort. Action before readiness is courage in motion. It teaches you that readiness is built through doing, not waiting. Acting before you're ready eliminates regret. Too many people look back on their lives wishing they had started sooner, tried harder, or taken a leap. Action prevents it from haunting your future. Action before readiness fosters independence. You learn to trust your judgment, rely on your abilities, and take responsibility for your outcomes. You stop waiting for others to approve, teach, or guide you. Acting before you're ready creates momentum that fuels growth. One action leads to another. One decision builds confidence, and one success compounds into greater achievement. Waiting for readiness guarantees stagnation. Acting before you're ready guarantees progress. Action sharpens problem solving. Challenges are inevitable when stepping into the unknown, but each problem solved strengthens your capability, creativity, and resilience. Acting before you're ready also teaches persistence. Even when results are not immediate, the act of moving forward instills a mindset of perseverance, determination, and focus. Action builds courage over time. Each time you step into discomfort, uncertainty, or challenge, fear diminishes and confidence grows. Acting before you're ready is how leaders are made. Every leader, every entrepreneur, every trailblazer began before they felt ready. They started, adapted, and overcame obstacles that would have stopped those who waited. Action generates clarity of purpose. When you engage, experiment, and push forward, you understand more about your strengths, your goals, and the path to your vision. Acting before you're ready transforms potential into reality. It is the bridge between thinking and doing, dreaming and achieving. Action produces results that planning alone cannot deliver. Every step taken is a building block, a lesson learned, and a move closer to mastery. Acting before you're ready is the mindset of the unstoppable. It refuses to be paralyzed by fear, doubt, or uncertainty. It embraces risk, movement, and growth as essential components of success. Action is what separates dreamers from achievers, planners from doers, and thinkers from leaders. Those who act before they feel ready seize opportunities, overcome limitations, and rise above hesitation. They understand that mastery, confidence, and clarity are cultivated through action, not waiting. Acting before you're ready is the ultimate key to progress because it transforms thought into experience, vision into reality, and fear into momentum. That motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind, unpredictable and unreliable. Some days you wake up inspired, energized, and ready to conquer the world. Other days you feel drained, distracted, and unmotivated. If you rely solely on motivation to achieve your goals, you will fail. Motivation is not a strategy. It is a spark. Discipline, on the other hand, is the engine that keeps you moving when motivation fades. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is showing up, putting in the work, and honoring your commitment, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the daily grind, the repetition of habits, the consistency of effort that transforms dreams into reality. Motivation may ignite action, but discipline sustains it. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is not motivation. It is discipline. Discipline means waking up early when you want to sleep in. It means studying, practicing, or working even when distractions are everywhere. It means pushing through discomfort, fatigue, and doubt because you know that results are built over time, not overnight. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency compounds into extraordinary outcomes. Discipline develops resilience. Life is hard, obstacles are real, and challenges are inevitable. Motivation will not protect you when adversity hits. Discipline keeps you moving, focused, and relentless even in the face of setbacks. Discipline requires accountability to yourself. It means taking ownership of your choices, your effort, and your results. Excuses have no place in a disciplined life because discipline demands action regardless of circumstance. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is rational. Motivation depends on how you feel, while discipline depends on what you decide. You may not feel inspired to act, but when you have discipline, you act anyway. Discipline builds character. It teaches patience, persistence, and the value of delayed gratification. It shapes the mindset of a winner who understands that greatness is achieved through effort, sacrifice, and consistency. Discipline is a habit, not a one-time decision. Every day you commit to doing what is necessary. Even when you don't want to, you reinforce the mental and physical patterns that produce results. Motivation may spark, but discipline sustains, grows, and multiplies. Discipline also protects against procrastination. The voice of hesitation and distraction will always be present, but discipline forces action regardless. It keeps you moving toward your goals when motivation is absent or fleeting. Discipline is what separates amateurs from professionals, dreamers from achievers. Professionals do not wait to feel motivated. They act, produce, and deliver consistently because their standards demand it. Discipline teaches mastery. Skills, knowledge, and results are developed through repetition, focus, and sustained effort. Discipline ensures that every day contributes to growth, improvement, and progress toward your goals. Discipline fosters confidence. When you act consistently, produce results, and honor your commitments, you build trust in yourself. You know that you are capable, reliable, and unstoppable even when motivation is low. Discipline creates freedom. It gives you control over your actions, your habits, and ultimately your life. Motivation is unpredictable, but discipline guarantees progress. Discipline strengthens mental toughness. Every time you push through fatigue, discomfort, or doubt, you reinforce your resilience. You train your mind to endure, persist, and perform under pressure. Discipline fuels long-term success. Motivation may get you started, but it is discipline that ensures you finish. Every achievement, no matter how great, is the product of sustained, disciplined action over time. Discipline reduces reliance on luck. When you cultivate habits, routines, and systems of consistent effort, you create predictable results. You are no longer at the mercy of fleeting emotions or external circumstances. Discipline teaches humility and patience. Results take time, and the process is often slower than you would like. Discipline allows you to stay committed, trust the process, and continue working toward your vision despite delays or setbacks. Discipline amplifies motivation. Interestingly, the more disciplined you become, the less you rely on motivation. Motivation becomes a bonus, not a requirement, because your habits, routines, and commitments carry you forward regardless of how you feel. Discipline enforces standards. When you operate with discipline, you refuse to accept mediocrity. You hold yourself accountable to higher levels of performance, effort, and excellence. Discipline cultivates focus. It helps you prioritize, eliminate distractions, and dedicate your energy to what truly matters. Motivation may be scattered, but discipline ensures that your actions are aligned with your goals. Discipline creates momentum. Every small, consistent action builds on the last. The more disciplined you are, the greater your momentum and the faster you approach your goals. Discipline teaches self-control. It allows you to resist short-term temptations, manage impulses, and act in ways that support long-term success. Motivation often wavers when challenges arise, but discipline sustains effort, focus, and commitment. Discipline produces reliability. People trust, follow, and invest in those who consistently deliver, perform, and show up. Reliability is not built on emotion. It is built on disciplined action. Discipline encourages problem solving. When obstacles arise, disciplined individuals do not quit or complain. They assess, adapt, and act strategically to overcome challenges. Discipline is transformative. It changes mindset, habits, and outcomes. It converts intention into action, potential into achievement, and vision into reality. Motivation may initiate action, but discipline ensures completion, mastering success. Discipline is a lifestyle, a mindset, and a practice. It is the unwavering commitment to do what is necessary consistently over time, regardless of how you feel. Discipline separates ordinary from extraordinary, talkers from doers, and dreamers from achievers. Those who embrace discipline understand that motivation is temporary, but results are permanent, and greatness is built one disciplined decision at a time. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has faced roadblocks. It is impossible to reach the level of success you are capable of without encountering obstacles, challenges, and setbacks along the way. But here is the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. Successful people identify their roadblocks early, understand them deeply, and develop strategies to overcome them. If you do not identify your roadblocks, you will never be prepared to face them, and they will stop you cold. Roadblocks come in many forms. They can be external, people who doubt you, circumstances that are against you, financial constraints, lack of resources, societal pressure. They can also be internal, fear, self-doubt, procrastination, limiting beliefs, lack of discipline, negative thinking. The moment you acknowledge that roadblocks exist is the moment you take the first step toward overcoming them. Denial is the enemy of progress. Too many people act as if success should be easy, as if the path to their goals should be smooth and effortless. When a challenge arises, they are shocked, frustrated, and ready to quit. The reality is that life is going to test you and roadblocks are inevitable. The difference is not in whether obstacles appear, but it's in how you respond to them. Identifying roadblocks requires honesty. You must be willing to look at yourself and your situation without excuses, without blame, without sugarcoating the truth. You must ask yourself, what is standing in my way? What is holding me back? Where am I sabotaging my own progress? Internal roadblocks are often the hardest to see. Fear hides behind procrastination. Self-doubt hides behind excuses. Limiting beliefs hide behind rationalizations. If you cannot recognize these obstacles, they will continue to operate in the background, draining your energy, slowing your progress, and preventing you from reaching your potential. External roadblocks require awareness and preparation. Life is unpredictable. Opportunities do not always arrive when you want them. Circumstances will challenge your commitment. People will question your abilities, and the environment may be unsupportive. Identifying these roadblocks allows you to plan, strategize, and develop contingency plans. It prevents you from being blindsided and gives you the mental readiness to tackle obstacles when they appear. Identifying roadblocks also allows you to prioritize your efforts. Not every challenge is equally important. Some obstacles can be avoided, some can be minimized, and some must be confronted head on. And understanding the nature of each roadblock allows you to allocate your energy wisely. This is where strategy comes into play. Success is not about brute force alone. It is about smart, focused, and deliberate action. When you identify roadblocks, you can develop strategies to bypass them, overcome them, or even use them to your advantage. Roadblocks are not always negative. They can be teachers, revealing weaknesses, gaps in knowledge, or areas that require growth. They are signals, guiding you to refine your skills, sharpen your mindset, and strengthen your resolve. Those who ignore roadblocks remain stuck. They stumble repeatedly over the same obstacles, frustrated and defeated. Those who face roadblocks intentionally grow stronger with every challenge. Identifying roadblocks also helps you develop resilience. Life will not always be easy. Challenges will appear when you least expect them, and your ability to persevere depends on your preparedness. When you have identified potential roadblocks, when you have faced them mentally and strategically, you are more likely to persist when adversity strikes. Identifying roadblocks requires clarity of vision. You cannot understand the barriers in your path if you are unclear about your destination. Once your goals are specific and your vision is vivid, you can see where the obstacles are likely to emerge. You can anticipate them, plan for them, and reduce the likelihood that they will derail you. Roadblocks also reveal the areas where you need help. No one achieves greatness alone. By identifying the challenges that are beyond your current skills, knowledge, or resources, you can seek mentorship, guidance, and support. You can build a network of people and resources that help you overcome obstacles efficiently. Roadblocks test your commitment. When you know what is standing in your way, you must ask yourself, how badly do I want this? Am I willing to endure difficulty, rejection, and setbacks to reach my goal? Identifying roadblocks is the first step in proving to yourself how serious you are about achieving success. Roadblocks are also opportunities to innovate. When something stands in your way, you are forced to think creatively, to find solutions, and to approach challenges from a different angle. Many breakthroughs, inventions, and achievements have come from overcoming obstacles that others deemed insurmountable. Roadblocks also teach patience and timing. Some obstacles cannot be removed immediately. Some challenges require persistence, repeated effort, and the development of skills over time. By identifying these roadblocks, you learn to manage your expectations, pace yourself, and remain disciplined until the timing is right to break through. Identifying roadblocks reduces fear. Fear thrives in the unknown. When you do not know what lies ahead, your mind imagines worst-case scenarios, paralyzing you before you even start. But when you have identified potential roadblocks, you remove the element of surprise. You know what to expect, how to respond, and how to prepare. Internal roadblocks, such as procrastination, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs, require deep introspection. You must be willing to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself. You must examine your habits, your mindset, and your behavior. You must ask, what am I doing that sabotages my own progress? How am I holding myself back? Identifying these internal roadblocks is uncomfortable, but is necessary. The reward is freedom. The freedom to act without hesitation, to push past fear, and to achieve results that were previously blocked by your own mind. Roadblocks also highlight the importance of resilience, determination, and grit. Success is rarely linear. You will encounter setbacks, failures, and challenges along the way. Those who identify roadblocks mentally, emotionally, and strategically are prepared to persevere. They develop the stamina required to keep going when others quit. Roadblocks are not signs to stop. They are indicators that growth is happening. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to refine your skills, strengthen your mindset, and become the person capable of achieving the success you desire. Identifying roadblocks allows you to turn obstacles into stepping stones. What looks like a barrier today can become the foundation for tomorrow. Those who succeed understand this principle. They anticipate challenges, learn from them, and use them to propel forward. Roadblocks also demand focus. When you know what is standing in your way, you can direct your attention and energy toward overcoming it rather than wasting effort on irrelevant distractions. Focused energy multiplied by strategic action is the formula for overcoming even the toughest obstacles. Identifying roadblocks requires action, not avoidance. Many people know what challenges exist but choose to ignore them, hoping they will disappear. They don't. Avoidance only gives obstacles more power. Confronting them head-on, understanding them, and developing a plan to overcome them is what separates winners from dreamers. When you identify your roadblocks, you gain control over your journey. You no longer let circumstances, people, or fear dictate your action. You take ownership of your path, your decisions, and your results. You become unstoppable because every obstacle is no longer a threat. It is a challenge that you are prepared to face and conquer. Roadblocks are inevitable, but defeat is optional. The moment you identify the barriers, understand their nature, and prepare to overcome them, you step into a mindset of victory. You develop the confidence, resilience, and strategy required to push past anything that stands in your way. Success is reserved for those who anticipate obstacles, embrace them as opportunities for growth, and relentlessly pursue their goals despite the challenges. Identifying roadblocks is not just a strategy, it is a mindset. It is a declaration that you will not be stopped, that you will not be distracted, and that nothing in this world will prevent you from reaching the life you are capable of creating. Every roadblock you face is temporary. Every obstacle you identify and confront strengthens your resolve. Every challenge you overcome builds momentum, confidence, and power. Identifying roadblocks is the difference between failure and achievement, between quitting and winning, between living a life of regret and a life of purpose. The question is, are you willing to see what is standing in your way, to face it head on, and to take the necessary action to remove it or overcome it? The moment you commit to identifying roadblocks, you gain clarity, focus, and control, and the path to your goals becomes visible. When you embrace this principle, nothing, not fear, not doubt, not circumstance, can stop you from achieving the success you desire. Success does not happen by accident. It does not appear overnight. It does not come to those who wait passively for opportunities to fall into their laps. Success is created, crafted, and built, and the foundation of that creation is a plan. Developing a plan is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Without a plan, goals remain dreams. Without a plan, effort is wasted. Without a plan, potential is unfulfilled. The first step in developing a plan is clarity. You must know exactly what you want. Vague ideas produce vague outcomes. If your goal is to be successful, you need to define what that means. Financially, professionally, personally, and emotionally. Once you have clarity, the plan begins to take shape. A plan is not just a list of tasks. It is a roadmap. It is a strategy. It is a series of deliberate actions designed to move you closer to your destination. Every single day, many people fail to plan because they believe success is linear or easy. They think that effort alone will carry them to the finish line, but life is complex, unpredictable, and challenging. Obstacles will appear, mistakes will happen, resources will be limited. A plan prepares you to face these realities. Developing a plan requires vision. You have to see not only the end goal, but the steps that will get you there. You must anticipate obstacles, identify opportunity, and outline the sequence of actions required to progress. A good plan answers the question, where am I going? How will I get there? What resources do I need? What skills must I develop? Who can support me along the way? A plan also provides structure. Life without structure is chaos. Effort without direction is wasted energy. When you have a plan, you have a framework for organizing your actions, prioritizing your tasks, and focusing your energy on what matters most. A plan transforms overwhelming goals into manageable steps. Each step becomes achievable, each milestone measurable, and each day purposeful. Planning is also about timing. You cannot do everything at once. You must sequence your actions in a logical, strategic order. You must allocate resources wisely. You must set deadlines, checkpoints, and milestones that keep you accountable. A plan provides a sense of urgency and a timeline that motivates consistent action. Developing a plan requires honesty. You must evaluate your strengths and weaknesses, your resources and limitations, your skills and gaps. You must acknowledge where you are and what it will take to reach your destination. Denial leads to unrealistic plans, which leads to frustration, failure, and giving up. A strong plan is rooted in reality. It is ambitious but achievable. It challenges you without setting you up for failure. It forces you to stretch while providing a clear path forward. A plan also increases confidence. When you know what steps to take, when you have anticipated challenges, and when you are prepared for obstacles, fear diminishes. You no longer act haphazardly. You act deliberately, decisively, and strategically. Confidence grows because preparation breeds certainty. Developing a plan also encourages accountability. Once your plan is outlined, you can track progress, measure results, and adjust when necessary. You can hold yourself responsible for each step, each action, and each milestone. Accountability prevents stagnation and ensures that momentum is maintained. A plan is dynamic. It is not set in stone. Life changes, opportunities evolve, and challenges arise. A good plan adapts. It allows for flexibility while maintaining focus on the ultimate goal. You must be willing to revise your plan, pivot when necessary, and learn from setbacks without abandoning your vision. Developing a plan is also about resource management. Time, energy, money, and skills are limited. A plan helps you allocate these resources effectively. It prevents waste, reduces distraction, and maximizes impact. Every action, every investment, every decision should move you closer to your goal. A plan also reinforces commitment. Writing the plan down, sharing it with mentors, or revisiting it daily strengthens your dedication to the goal. It becomes tangible, real, and actionable. It transforms abstract desires into concrete steps. Developing a plan requires discipline. It is easy to get distracted, to procrastinate, to react to external pressures. A plan serves as your guide, keeping you on course when distractions arise. when obstacles appear and when motivation wanes. A plan keeps you accountable to yourself and to the vision you have set. Planning also encourages problem solving. By mapping out your path, you can anticipate where challenges are likely to appear. You can brainstorm solutions in advance, reducing panic and increasing effectiveness when obstacles occur. A strong plan turns potential setbacks into opportunities for growth, learning, and strategic action. Developing a plan is not a one-time activity. It is a continuous process. You must revisit your plan regularly, evaluate progress, adjust strategies, and refine steps. Consistent review ensures that your actions remain aligned with your evolving goals, circumstances, and vision. A plan also aligns your habits and routines with your objectives. Daily actions are the building blocks of success. When your habits support your plan, consistency becomes automatic. Your energy is focused on meaningful work. Your progress accelerates, your potential is realized. Developing a plan also fosters mental clarity. When your path is outlined, you no longer waste energy on indecision, confusion, or reactive behavior. You know where you are going, how to get there, and what it will take to succeed. Your mind can focus on execution rather than worry. A plan empowers you to act with intention. Every day becomes an opportunity to move closer to your goal. Every choice is filtered through the lens of your plan. Every action has purpose. Developing a plan is also about resilience. When setbacks occur, you have a reference point, a roadmap to guide your recovery, and a strategy for continuing forward. You are not paralyzed by unexpected challenges. You are prepared to adapt, learn, and persevere. A plan enhances decision-making. When options arise, when opportunities appear, when obstacles challenge you, your plan provides a framework to make smart choices. You can evaluate actions based on alignment with your goals, anticipated impact, and potential outcomes. Developing a plan also cultivates patience. Success does not happen overnight. A well-structured plan acknowledges the journey, the effort, the timing, and the progression required to achieve the ultimate goal. It prevents frustration and encourages steady, deliberate progress. A plan bridges the gap between vision and reality. Dreams alone are not enough. Action alone without strategy is ineffective. A plan combines vision, strategy, and action into a cohesive approach that maximizes the likelihood of success. Developing a plan demonstrates ownership. It is a declaration that you are taking control of your life, your actions, and your destiny. You are not leaving success to chance. You are designing it, constructing it, and executing it intentionally. The plan also multiplies effectiveness. Focused, deliberate action yields results exponentially greater than random, unstructured effort. Energy is directed toward high-value activities. Habits are aligned with objectives, and momentum builds with each step taken according to roadmap. Developing a plan is the ultimate tool for transforming potential into achievement. It is the difference between hoping for success and creating it, between wandering aimlessly and moving deliberately, between dreaming and achieving. When you develop a plan, you take the abstract and make it concrete. You turn uncertainty into clarity, and you transform aspiration into action. Your plan becomes your guide, your strategy, your anchor, and your roadmap to the life you envision. That action is the engine of achievement. Dreams, goals, plans, and visions are meaningless without action. You can have the clearest plan in the world, the most specific goals, and the most vivid visualization, but if you do not act, nothing happens. Action separates the dreamers from the doers. It separates those who talk from those who produce results. Massive action is not about doing a little every day or waiting for the perfect moment. Massive action is about going all in, giving everything you have, and committing to relentless, consistent effort until the results you desire become inevitable. Too many people underestimate the power of action. They think that ideas alone, intentions alone, or motivation alone are enough. They overanalyze, they hesitate, they wait for perfect conditions, and in the process, time slips away and opportunity passes them by. Massive action is about breaking that cycle. It is about refusing to wait, refusing to settle, and refusing to allow excuses to control your life. Massive action requires urgency. You must act as if your life depends on it because in many ways it does. The life you will live 10 years from now is determined by the actions you take today. Every delay, every hesitation, every moment of indecision is a lost opportunity. Massive action demands commitment. Half-hearted effort produces half-hearted results. To achieve the extraordinary, you must be willing to work harder, longer, and smarter than anyone else. You must push past discomfort, push past doubt, and push past doubt, and push past fear. Massive action also requires consistency. Success is not a one-time event. It is the result of repeated, deliberate actions taken over time. You cannot act sporadically, with bursts of energy followed by long periods of inactivity, and expect to achieve greatness. Consistency compounds. Each action builds on the previous one, creating momentum that propels you forward. Massive action requires clarity. You must know what you are doing, why you are doing it, and how it connects to your goals. Action without direction is wasted energy. It produces motion but not progress. When your action is aligned with your vision, your energy becomes powerful, focused, and unstoppable. Massive action also requires courage. There will be obstacles, setbacks, criticism, and failure. Many people stop before they start because they fear what might happen. Massive action means stepping into uncertainty, facing challenges head-on, and refusing to let fear dictate your decisions. Massive action demands sacrifice. Time, comfort, entertainment, and sometimes relationships must take a back seat to your commitment. You cannot pursue greatness and maintain the status quo. Every choice you make must be filtered through the lens of your goals. Massive action fuels confidence. The more you act, the more you see results, the more momentum you build, and the more you believe in your own ability. Action is the antidote to doubt. Massive action is also strategic. It is not random. It is focused, deliberate, and directed at the tasks that yield the highest return. You must identify what actions matter most, prioritize them, and execute them with intensity. Massive action requires accountability. You must hold yourself responsible for your effort, your focus, and your persistence. You cannot blame circumstances, people, or for lack of progress. Every result is the outcome of your actions or inactions. Massive action creates opportunity. When you move decisively and consistently, doors open that would have remained closed to those who hesitate. You create momentum that attracts resources, people, and possibilities into your life. Massive action overcomes inertia. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Fear grows, excuses multiply, and procrastination becomes a habit. Massive action breaks that cycle. You act now, you act boldly, and you act consistently until results appear. Massive action is contagious. When people see your commitment, your intensity, and your results, they are inspired to support you, collaborate with you, and elevate your efforts. It builds influence, credibility, and power. Massive action also teaches resilience. You will fail, you will encounter setbacks, you will face rejection. But when you act massively, you develop the stamina to recover, the mindset to adapt, and the persistence to continue pushing forward. Massive action is transformative. It changes your skills, your confidence, your mindset, and your life. Action builds character. Action develops discipline. Action converts potential into achievement. Massive action eliminates excuses. You stop blaming circumstances, waiting for perfect timing, or relying on luck. You take control. You take ownership. You do whatever it takes, no matter the challenge, no matter the discomfort, no matter the opposition. Massive action requires focus. You cannot scatter your energy across too many areas and expect results. You must direct your effort toward the actions that matter most, the tasks that align with your goals, and the steps that produce progress. Massive action also demands patience, paradoxically. While action is urgent, results often take time. You must persist, repeat, and maintain intensity until your efforts compound into success. Massive action produces clarity. The more you act, the more you understand what works, what doesn't, and how to adjust. Action teaches experience, insight, and wisdom that theory alone cannot provide. Massive action creates confidence because it generates evidence. Every step forward, every milestone reached, every obstacle overcome reinforces your belief that you can achieve your goals. Massive action is not about perfection. It is about momentum. It is about moving, learning, adjusting, and continuing. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Massive action embraces imperfection because the alternative is stagnation. Massive action is the foundation of execution. Dreams, goals, and plans are meaningless without it. Action is the bridge between thinking and doing, between intention and results, between possibility and reality. Massive action is relentless. It is persistent. It is disciplined. It is deliberate. It does not stop when challenges appear. It does not falter in the face of adversity. It does not waver because of doubt or fear. Massive action multiplies impact. One focused, deliberate action taken consistently over time produces far greater results than hundreds of scattered, unfocused efforts. It compounds, builds momentum, and accelerates progress toward your ultimate goals. Massive action also inspires others. When people see someone committed to moving boldly toward their goals, they are inspired to act, collaborate, and support. Your energy becomes contagious, creating an environment that fosters achievement. Massive action defines character. It reveals commitment, resilience, courage, and discipline. It separates those who talk from those who execute. Those who succeed are not the ones who wait, complain, or hesitate. They are the ones who act massively and act consistently. Massive action is the ultimate tool for transforming dreams into reality. It turns ideas into outcomes, plans into results, and potential into achievement. The question is simple. Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to push past fear, doubt, and discomfort? Are you willing to act now with intensity and without hesitation? Those who act massively are the ones who create their future. Those who hesitate are left watching. Those who act boldly, consistently, and strategically turn vision into reality, and they do it because they refuse to let anything stand in the way. Massive action is your responsibility, your weapon, and your advantage. It is the difference between wishing and achieving, between dreaming and living, between mediocrity and greatness. The choice is yours. I can continue with Keynote 10 next, expanding it into another 2,000-word Eric Thomas-style motivational section. Keeping the energy high and the speech-building momentum, discipline is the cornerstone of success. Without it, talent, effort, and ambition are wasted. The world does not reward potential. It rewards results, consistency, and persistence. Discipline is what allows you to show up when you don't feel like it, to work when motivation fades, to act when fear or doubt threatens to stop you. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack discipline. They start strong, but when the novelty wears off, when the grind gets tough, when the sacrifices become real, they quit. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is the daily commitment to take the actions necessary, even when you don't want to. It is the ability to control your impulses, manage your time, and prioritize what truly matters over what feels easy, convenient, or comfortable. Discipline requires self-awareness. You must know yourself well enough to recognize where you are weak, where you are tempted, and where you are likely to falter. Without self-awareness, discipline becomes inconsistent, and without consistency, success is fleeting. Discipline is not about punishment or deprivation. It is about choice. It is the conscious decision to do what needs to be done, not what is easiest. It is about prioritizing long-term success over short-term gratification. Every time you choose to push through discomfort, to focus when distractions call, to take action when laziness whispers, you strengthen your discipline. Discipline also demands accountability. You must hold yourself responsible for your actions, your habits, and your results. You cannot blame circumstances, others, or luck for failure. Discipline is about ownership. It's about being fully responsible for your life, your choices, and your outcomes. Maintaining discipline requires structure. Chaos erodes focus, weakens resolve, and diminishes productivity. Successful people create routines, set schedules, and develop systems that support their discipline. They know that when their environment and habits are aligned with their goals, discipline becomes easier and more sustainable. Discipline is about sacrifice. Every moment of focus, every hour of effort, every step toward mastery requires giving up something else. Comfort, entertainment, social distractions, and indulgence often stand in opposition to your goals. Discipline is the ability to consistently choose the actions that align with your vision, even when it means sacrificing pleasure in the present for results in the future. Discipline is reinforced through consistency. It's not one heroic act that defines success, but the repeated deliberate actions taken day after day, week after week, month after month. Discipline compound just like effort. Small acts done consistently produce extraordinary results over time. Discipline requires patience. Results rarely appear overnight. The temptation to quit, to deviate, or to take shortcuts is constant. Maintaining discipline means trusting the process, committing to the journey, and believing that every action taken today brings you closer to your goals tomorrow. Discipline strengthens character. When you do what needs to be done, regardless of your emotions, you cultivate resilience, mental toughness, and self-control. These qualities become a foundation not just for success, but for life itself. Discipline also shapes identity. The actions you take consistently define who you are. If you consistently act with focus, determination, and persistence, you become someone capable of achieving extraordinary results. Discipline aligns your habits with your vision. Habits are the building blocks of success. Every time you act with discipline, you reinforce positive habits, which in turn make future disciplined actions easier. This compounding effect turns small, daily decisions into monumental achievements over time. Maintaining discipline requires mental toughness. Distractions are everywhere. Life throws challenges, temptations, and obstacles at you constantly. Mental toughness allows you to remain steadfast, to resist immediate gratification, to stay focused on the bigger picture, and to persist despite adversity. Discipline also fosters resilience. Life will not always be fair. Setbacks will occur. Failure will knock on your door. Without discipline, these moments can derail you. With discipline, you respond with persistence, adjust strategy, and continue forward stronger and more determined. Discipline requires clarity, a purpose. Without a clear reason why, maintaining discipline becomes nearly impossible. Your vision, goals, and values provide the motivation to endure, the compass to guide your actions, and the fuel to persist when the journey gets difficult. Discipline is also about boundaries. It is knowing what to allow and what to refuse. It's about protecting your time, your energy, and your focus. Saying no to distractions, negativity, and irrelevant pursuits is as critical as saying yes to productive, goal-aligned actions. Maintaining discipline requires preparation. You must anticipate moments of weakness and develop strategies to overcome them. You must build routines, habits, and systems that make the disciplined choice the easiest choice. Discipline is not about occasional effort. It's about a lifestyle. It is a daily commitment to excellence, to focus, to persistence, and to action. Discipline demands courage. Sometimes the disciplined choice is unpopular, uncomfortable, or inconvenient. It requires standing firm in your principles, pursuing your goals relentlessly, and resisting the pressures of peers, society, or circumstance. Discipline strengthens confidence. Every time you follow through, every time you act despite fear or fatigue, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Confidence grows with consistent, disciplined action, reinforcing your ability to take on greater challenges. Discipline creates momentum. The more you act with focus and consistency, the easier it becomes to continue. Energy compounds, habits solidify, and progress accelerates. Maintaining discipline is not a one-time act. It is a commitment to live intentionally, to act purposefully, and to refuse to be swayed by temporary emotions or distractions. Discipline also empowers freedom. It may seem counterintuitive, but the more disciplined you are, the more control you have over your life. You are no longer at the mercy of impulses, circumstances, or external pressures. You make decisions that align with your goals and values, creating the life you desire. Discipline is the differentiator between those who dream and those who achieve. Many have ideas, goals, and ambitions, but only those with discipline follow through and transform vision into reality. Discipline is the silent force that works behind the scenes, shaping habits, building character, and producing results long before anyone notices it. Maintaining discipline requires vigilance. You cannot become complacent. Every day, every decision, every action must be measured against your goals. Without vigilance, old habits resurface, distractions take over, and progress stalls. Discipline also cultivates resilience in the face of adversity. Life will test you in countless ways. Without discipline, challenges derail you. With discipline, Challenges become opportunities to grow stronger, work harder, and move closer to your ultimate success. Discipline reinforces purpose. Every action aligned with your goal strengthens your commitment. Every sacrifice becomes meaningful. Every obstacle overcome validates your path. Maintaining discipline is not easy. It is demanding, exhausting, and requires relentless commitment. But it is the single most powerful habit you can develop to achieve greatness. It is the key to transforming potential into performance, effort into results, and dreams into reality. Discipline ensures that when motivation fades, when obstacles appear, and when life gets hard, you keep moving, keep executing, and keep winning. Those who maintain discipline are unstoppable because they have created a system that does not rely on luck, emotions, or temporary inspiration. Discipline is the ultimate form of empowerment. It gives you control over your choices, your habits, and your destiny. It allows you to live intentionally, pursue your goals relentlessly, and achieve extraordinary results you were capable of all along. Your environment shapes your destiny. The people you spend the most time with, the energy you absorb, and the influences you allow into your life determine how far you can go, how high you can rise, and how much of your potential you can achieve. If you want to reach greatness, you must surround yourself with winners. Not just people who talk about winning, not just people who dream of success, but people who execute, who act, who produce results, and who push themselves relentlessly toward their goals. Winners inspire action, accountability, and growth. They are the ones who challenge you to elevate your standards, who hold you responsible for your actions, and who refuse to let you settle for mediocrity. Too often, people remain in environments filled with negativity, distraction, or complacency. They're surrounded by individuals who complain, make excuses, or lack ambition. This environment quietly erodes your drive, your discipline, and your vision. You may not notice it at first, but over time, the influence of those around you shapes your mindset, your choices, and ultimately your results. Surrounding yourself with winners is not about showing off or fitting into a social circle. It is a strategic decision. It is about aligning yourself with people who reflect the qualities, values, and behaviors you need to cultivate to achieve your goals. Winners think differently. They act differently. They handle challenges differently. When you spend time with winners, you adopt these qualities by association. You absorb their energy, their mindset, and their habits. Winners push you beyond your comfort zone. They challenge your excuses, question your decisions, and demand accountability. They refuse to let you coast or settle. They celebrate your victories, but also confront you when you are falling short. This is the type of energy you need to fuel your growth. Winners also provide mentorship and guidance. They have walked paths you aspire to walk. They have faced obstacles you will face. They can provide insight, strategy, and lessons that accelerate your progress. They shorten your learning curve, saving you from mistakes that could slow or derail your journey. Surrounding yourself with winners also raises your standard. The more you are exposed to high achievers, the more you realize what is possible. Their habits, discipline, and work ethic set a benchmark that challenges you to elevate your own performance. Mediocrity becomes unacceptable, and excellence becomes the norm. Winners reinforce your mindset. They understand the importance of mental toughness, resilience, and persistence. They model these qualities in their own lives, and their example teaches you to cultivate the same. When challenges arise, they provide perspective, encouragement, and strategies for overcoming adversity. Winners create accountability. When you are surrounded by people who demand excellence, you cannot hide, you cannot make excuses, and you cannot settle. They push you to act consistently, follow through, and achieve the results you say you want. Accountability is a force multiplier for success, and winners ensure that you harness it. Surrounding yourself with winners also protects you from negative influences. Toxic people drain energy, instill doubt, and normalize failure. They create a culture of excuses, laziness, and stagnation. Winners do the opposite. They uplift, challenge, and inspire. They create a culture of growth, action, and relentless pursuit of goals. Winners also provide inspiration when motivation fades. There will be days when your energy is low, when doubt creeps in, when obstacles feel insurmountable. Winners remind you of your purpose. Their energy reignites your fire. Their mindset refocuses your thinking. And their example reminds you of what is possible when you refuse to quit. Surrounding yourself with winners requires intentionality. You cannot expect to grow while remaining in environments filled with complacency, negativity, or mediocrity. You must seek out individuals, communities, and networks that elevate you, challenge you, and inspire you. Winners expand your network and opportunities. They connect you with people, ideas, and resources that accelerate your progress. They introduce you to new perspectives, strategies, and possibilities that you could not access on your own. Surrounding yourself with winners also demands contribution. Relationships with high achievers are reciprocal. You must bring value, effort, and commitment to these connections. You cannot simply absorb. You must also contribute. Mutual support, collaboration, and shared ambition amplify growth for everyone involved. Winners reinforce discipline and consistency. They understand the importance of showing up, doing the work, and refusing to quit. When you are around people who embody these qualities, you are reminded daily that consistent effort is non-negotiable and that greatness requires sacrifice, focus, and relentless pursuit. Winners challenge your mindset. They do not allow you to settle for excuses, fear, or limiting beliefs. They push you to confront your weaknesses, stretch beyond your comfort zones, and adopt the mentality necessary to achieve extraordinary results. Surrounding yourself with winners also accelerates learning. Their experience, insights, and feedback shorten your path to mastery. They provide guidance, teach lessons, and share strategies that can prevent you from making costly mistakes. Winners cultivate vision. They inspire you to think bigger, aim higher, and pursue goals that once seemed impossible. Being in their presence expands your perspective and shifts your sense of what is achievable. Winners reinforce resilience. They have faced failures, setbacks, and adversity, and they demonstrate how to persist despite challenges. Observing their persistence teaches you to endure, adapt, and continue moving forward when life tests you. Surrounding yourself with winners also instills confidence. You begin to internalize their mindset, adopt their habits, and see yourself capable of achieving the levels of success they have reached. Confidence grows because you are exposed to proof that excellence is attainable. Winners demand accountability not out of cruelty, but out of care. They push you to honor your commitments, follow through on promises, and act with integrity. This accountability strengthens your character and ensures that your efforts are aligned with your vision. Surrounding yourself with winners requires discernment. Not everyone who appears successful is a true winner. True winners inspire, challenge, and elevate without ego, negativity, or selfishness. They create environments of growth, collaboration, and possibility. Winners teach perseverance. They demonstrate that failure is not final, that setbacks are temporary, and that consistency, effort, and determination are what ultimately produce results. They model how to navigate adversity with focus, strategy, and resilience. Surrounding yourself with winners also provides encouragement. The journey towards success is lonely, challenging, and filled with obstacles. Winners offer support, celebrate your progress, and remind you of your potential when self-doubt creeps in. Winners inspire ambition. Being around individuals who relentlessly pursue their goals challenges you to set higher standards, dream bigger, and push beyond limitations you once accepted. They create an environment where mediocrity is unacceptable and excellence is expected. Surrounding yourself with winners is a lifelong commitment. It requires effort, intentionality, and dedication. You must continuously evaluate your relationships, your networks, and your environment to ensure that the energy, mindset, and influence around you align with the person you are becoming and the goals you are pursuing. Winners cultivate excellence. They demonstrate that achievement is not a matter of luck or talent alone, but of relentless effort, discipline, and strategic action. Being in their presence teaches you to embody the same quality. Surrounding yourself with winners is not optional, it is essential. The people you choose to spend time with will either lift you up or hold you back. They will either inspire growth or normalize stagnation. The choice of your company is the choice of your trajectory. Winners accelerate your growth, expand your opportunity, and reinforce your mindset. They are catalysts for your transformation. mirrors of your potential, and guides on your journey to success. If you want to reach levels of achievement that others only dream of, you must intentionally seek out, surround yourself with, and learn from winners. Your circle determines your destiny. Your environment shapes your possibilities, and your associations dictate the level of excellence you can achieve. Winners inspire you to be better, push harder, and never settle. They make success not only possible, but inevitable.